So you've decided to heal in Final Fantasy XIV Online. Well, stick with me because I'm going to give you some tips, tricks, things to know, beginner, maybe intermediate guide to healing in Final Fantasy XIV. Thank you for staying. Okay, this is Mystic with Mystic Shepherd Gaming, and awesome, you're going to heal, right? You're totally enamored, maybe like me, you can see my character. I mean, like, every game I play, healer is the role that I love the most. I love healing other players. I love sustaining the group, right? So here's some things. And sorry about all the dancing in the background, but I want to keep your attention. I don't want you to lose interest. So watch the girl dance, and I will, explain. There's three different kind of healers. My least favorite is Astrologian. I have not given the Astrologian a fair shake since the last DLC came out. So I'm giving you more how-to or tips with White Mage. Well, and you can apply it to Astrologian. And then Scholar. Scholar and White Mage I love equally for different reasons. So, depending on the dungeon dictates, which healer you may or may not go in on. And here's the cool thing is as long as they're the same level, they share the same gear. So if you meet the requirements for a dungeon with one healer, excuse me, then you would be able to go in on either healer. So, depending on, if you're, the dungeon dictates, again, Scholar or White Mage. And there are different benefits to either one. I mean, like, of course, you're going to be able to remove yuck regardless, Astrologian, White Mage, Scholar. You have Asuna, which I'm showing you. With the Scholar, which was the one that I started first, I started on an Arcanist, however you pronounce that. So, the Scholar and Summoner were the ones that I played all the way to, I believe, 60 or 50 was the highest level then. And, you have Eos or Celine. They pretty much do the same thing. I mean, like, not exactly, but that's a whole nother thing. So we're going to go ahead and go into a dungeon. But here, if you see, I have two different types of heals, like a shield buff heal and then a heal. That's how I go back and forth to keep, my tank and my party healed. On the PlayStation 4, you would use your directional arrow button up and down. That's how you you scroll through your party's name. Even in a raid, no matter what, that is how you scroll through the party members to get to them. There's also, if you go left and right, if you're in like a 24-person or 12-person raid and you're not all in a group or something like that, well, you can try and target them that way. So if you see, they've made some changes over the last 5 years. Whether other healers will want to admit it or not, they've taken away a lot of our damage. And there's a reason for that. But that's a debate for another day. But all I can say is it's because we're not meant to DPS, we're meant to heal, we're meant to, most people in the game focused more on trying to DPS than heal their people, than heal their tank. And when the tank drops, we all drop. We are meant to do damage, just not focus on damage. And that's what it seems like. That's why they took, like, Cleric Stance away from us. They took away, we had the dots that Summoner had. Of course, it didn't do as much damage over time, but we had it, and we had the ability to spread it between a group of monsters or mobs. But they took that away too. So if you think about that, yes, they want us to go ahead and damage, but they want us to focus on healing the group as a healer. So my thing is since I've always played healer from the day I started playing like role-playing games that had healers, casters, I fell in love with it. So I try so hard not to even let my people get under half. Of course it's going to happen. They're going to be taking it to the face, whether it be the tank or, like, in this instance, there was a black mage who seemed like they were learning how to be a black mage again, or for the first time, and they kept standing still and taking it to the face. There was one time I really let them die because I knew there was no way I was going to be able to heal them past it and keep the rest of the group alive. So, but, so as a healer, On Scholar, I go between what's called, I think it's called Psychic. It's your first heal that you get, and then the top left screen you can see. I just go back and forth between. I think it's called Aliquin, and so back and forth. It's like a shield heal, but the shield also does a little bit of healing, and there's also like a move that you can use that changes like the group shield that you can do, which is like the single shield, and it acts as a heal. So you'll see me casting several times like the same thing that maybe you don't, but you would know as like the group shield. There's a reason for that, because I'm turning it into, the emergency tactics is turning it into a healing for the group. So when you don't have, like with Scholar, there's a thing called Ether Flow, and you have 3 once you get to a certain level, and if you don't have one of those 3, then you can't do like the main group heal, so that would be your secondary group heal. There's also one thing I didn't use during this, is called Energy Drain, and it actually gives you mana back, and it steals it from like the monster, boss, whomever that you're targeting, and if you run out of mana, but usually then you're pretty good with that. So, and again, you can see during this I'm focusing mostly on the keeping the party healed, but I also am doing there's a single dot that you can do as a Scholar healer, and then there's a group damage. It's not a stun. Now, if you were on a white mage, here's the key thing, and if you're a white mage, or if you're someone who's like thinking, okay, I'm better than you, if you're a white mage and you have a Dark Knight in your group and you are spamming Holy or using Holy more than once or twice, then no, you are not better than me, because you clearly don't know that when you use Holy, you're taking away some of the moves that Dark Knight can use, that they get healing back, that they get certain things back. So yes, you can as a white mage use Holy, but don't spam it, and especially don't mess it up for your tank. If you're sitting there thinking, oh my gosh, the Dark Knight is just so squishy, which I do think sometimes, not because I'm spamming Holy, but it's they're either not using this move, or if you're using Holy, you're making it where they can't use this move. So I don't know, start a Dark Knight and look through the moves. There's like 1 or 2 moves for sure, and their main moves are things that give healing back to that Dark Knight. So as a white mage, also there's regen. It's like a it regens healing over time, basically, which is an awesome thing. We all get like a dome of healing that we could put over like the tank for areas like, let's say, in a boss fight or in a fight where that your groups usually take a dive. You can put that over the tank and just try and stay on top of healing versus doing damage. The cool thing is like that area of effect Art of War damage that we have, that they gave us in lieu of, or in place of the dots they took away from us. It's really cool. It does a decent amount of damage, not DPS. I mean, we're no DPS by any means, but you can get in the middle of the group, you can stay focused or targeted on the tank, and do this Art of War at the same time. That way you never skip a beat, you never miss a beat, however you would like to say it. So focus on your group, focus on the tank the most, and then secondary is damage. But don't feel obligated to do damage when you're learning how to heal. Just don't. And if you have any questions about, on the PlayStation 4, how do I do this, how do I do that, with healers or tanks, some tanks, I'm not fabulous with all of them, but, I play healer the most. Leave a comment, ask me a question. This is Mystic Shepherd saying, thank you so much for watching my video. Make sure you smash that like button, ring the bell to be alerted when I put out new videos or go on live stream, and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Thank you very much.